What's up everybody, welcome back to Game Tag VR. My name's GT and today this video is all about live streaming from your Oculus Quest, what you're going to need, how you're going to do it, like the setup process and casting to your TV or mobile phone. When it comes to casting, Oculus have recently updated the devices they support. At the moment it is in beta still and they will constantly be working on this feature. It looks like all Chromecast devices are supported. Now the only ones I've tested personally are the Chromecast Ultra and I've got an older TV downstairs, it's about 5-6 years old, that's got a Chromecast in it and that worked completely fine as well. Bear in mind there is an audio delay between half a second to a second across all devices of what I've tested. When it comes to casting to a mobile phone, it's very simple. It's also worth mentioning that if you intend to cast, all the devices will need to be on the same Wi-Fi network. Just navigate on your browser over to the sharing button. Once you click that, go to cast and you will see the Oculus app. That will be on your mobile phone. Now to cast to a Chromecast device is pretty much the same process. You navigate to the menu, you go to share and then you go to cast to a device and that's where you will see certain Chromecast devices listed. So what you want to do now is get into streaming your Oculus Quest. Now there's only 2 ways out of the 3 that personally I've chosen to use. One is directly to Facebook, but as far as I know it's only in 30 frames a second. It's in like a square format and it doesn't look that great to be honest, so I've never particularly been interested in using that for streaming. The second is wireless streaming. Now because the Quest is wireless, this is why I chose this method and this is one I use nearly on a daily basis, I guess, on the channel. So here we have the Chromecast Ultra. You're going to need one of these. Another important thing is you're going to need is a HDMI stripper. This strips the HDCP from the signal, and also you will need an Elgato HD60S. That's what I use personally. Now for the highest quality, what you want to do is make sure that your Chromecast and your Quest is on the same 5 GHz connection. So what you want to do is, if you imagine this is all plugged in, you plug in your Chromecast to your HDMI splitter. From your HDMI splitter, it will be via an HDMI lead to your Elgato, and then your Elgato goes to your PC. So we've got that all set up. Now it's time to download OBS Studio. Obviously go to OBS. This is personally what I use. There's also Streamlabs, but personally I used OBS Studio and Stream Elements and download the Windows version. Okay, so you've now downloaded OBS Studio and this is what you'll be presented with. Just to quickly go over what I've got here, my OBS is signed into my YouTube account. So here is where I will see my chat. Here is where I'll see any action, such as people who have subscribed, thank you very much, and people who have donated during live streams. That's really cool. So I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. There are plenty of OBS tutorials out there, which I personally had to watch as well. So now we're going to go to a video capture device, and our video capture device is the Elgato HD60S, and we will call it Elgato. Click OK. So there we have our lovely image of the Elgato, which has currently got the Chromecast plugged into it. That's why you've got this lovely landscape here. So also what will happen is, if you're capturing audio via HDMI, your audio will also come through on this line here. Okay, so now you want to add a microphone. Obviously I'm using one right now, but what you would do is you would press plus, go to audio input capture, and you could name it audio input capture there, but I'm going to go to the one I've got now, which is mic and auxiliary, and then you press OK, which we already know we've already got one. And then you go to properties and you can pick whatever microphone you are using. So if I'm streaming from the Rift S, I would go Rift S microphone. The microphone in that headset is particularly great, but if you put it to around the 50% gain mark, it's okay. You can get away with it. I've got the Logitech A50 headphone microphone, also very good. So we're going to go with the one we're using right now. Okay, so you've got your image. You've got your microphone and we've got sound coming in. What I'm going to do is leave a card to a video that introduces something called ducking. It's extremely good. It's from Gaming Careers. It's really important, I think, because what it does is enable you to give your viewers the music and the game audio properly, but when you speak it will dull it down and therefore they can also hear what you're saying. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head over to settings and look at our streaming settings. So here we go. General, I don't think I've ever touched any of these settings. Streaming is, I use Restream, so that's my service there. That's my nearest server, and that'll be my stream key from Restream. And then we have our output. I can't actually change any of these because we're currently recording. Encoders. There are two types of encoder I know of, which is X264. The other encoder is NVENC, which is from NVIDIA. It is a fantastic encoder. I used it for many months. I really enjoyed it, but I did find sometimes I was getting some frame drops depending on how detailed and heavy the virtual reality game is. So what I'm trying to say is, when I was using the NVENC encoder, my GPU, my graphics card, is a 2070. And if you've got a 2080, maybe NVIDIA or NVENC encoding may be absolutely perfect for you. Let me know in the comments what you use. It'd be great to find out what everyone is using out there. But personally, I found through testing that using my CPU, X264, was the best way forward. So moving on to X264, which is the CPU encoder. Now I've got an i9-9900K processor. So for me personally, playing virtual reality games, I found that using the CPU to handle my encoding was the best way forward. Basically I've got less frame drops and better game performance. So, and this has took me about 6 months to figure out to get right. X264. Now the other thing, because I use Restream, which means it goes to Twitch, Periscope, which is Twitter, Facebook, 720p seems to be the most acceptable resolution, screen resolution output. So I tend to put that to 720p. Rate of control CBR. Now when it comes to bitrate, this is all about your upload speed. Now my upload speed is between 8.5 and 9. So the general rule of thumb is you go over just over 50%, between 50 and 75% of your upload speed to stream. The time of night that I tend to live stream is very busy in this house, so I tend to keep it around the 5,000 mark. It seems to be pretty good quality all the time, rarely drop. Just to bear in mind as well, when OBS does any updates, always go back. Once you've found settings that work for you, screenshot them. Take a screenshot, take a photo on your phone, and don't forget the settings that you're happy with. Next up, we've got Keyframe Interval. I set this to 2, which Restream let me know is the favourite settings. It causes less drop frames during a stream, so that is quite essential to me. CPU usage, as it explains, the higher you set this, the less CPU it uses. So for me personally, I found that very fast seems to be a happy area. CPU usage to the quality of what people are seeing. Profile is set to high. When it comes to the quality of your audio, set it to, I'm quite happy with 160. Most are between 120 and 160. I do sometimes get reports from Periscope, which is Twitter, that they're not too happy with the 160, but every time I've watched one of those streams back, they seem absolutely fine. So I'm happy to leave it there. I never really get many complaints about audio quality. People seem to enjoy it. So quickly going to talk about what microphone I use on a regular basis. It would be the Antlion Audio Mod Mic. It's absolutely fantastic. There's no lag. The battery lasts for 12 hours. I think it charges within 2 hours, and I've had no issues with it at all. The only time I choose to use a different microphone, which is on the Logitech A50, is when I'm using a game that is very, very active, say something like archery and virtual reality, and that's the headset I'm going to show you next time. But if you're looking for a microphone, which you can pretty much use on any headset, as you can see, because you stick it on via a magnet and it is detachable, the Antlion Mod Mic is definitely the best I've ever used. This should give you everything to get up and running, and I cannot express it enough. Please be sure to check these settings, test the settings as well until you're happy. Don't just go live and hope for the best. It really is worth just spending a couple of hours practicing live streaming to yourself. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I really appreciate any likes and any comments. I'm not a technical genius, I'm just letting you know what I've learned and what I use. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.